Does your boss make you feel inadequate or micromanage you? Or does your job no longer provide you with a sense of accomplishment or purpose? I've been there, and so have my clients. We are constantly evolving as individuals, but we're also growing as career professionals at the same time. So it is completely normal and healthy to change our career trajectory over time. The fact is, choosing to leave our job of 14 years as an accountant to pursue entrepreneurship is normal. Resigning as a marketer after 5 years or 4 or 7 to become a UX designer or coder is completely reasonable. And let's face it, leaving your job as a teacher to go to chef school because you've always had a dream of opening your own bakery or running your own restaurant is incredible, and it's normal. We all owe it to ourselves to listen and respond to the restlessness when it stirs. So if you're feeling unhappy or unsatisfied in your work or your career as a whole, and you want to make a change, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Heather. I'm a content strategist, LinkedIn optimization expert, and I'm also founder of Red Lantern Solutions. I help individuals in every stage of their career launch into work they love and get seen, heard, and hired. But first things first. Before you can begin taking steps to career pivot, you need to squash that fear that may be getting in your way. To pursue your goals, you need to get out of your own way and start taking proactive steps to lead you to your goals. Do any of these sound familiar? I should just be grateful that I have a job. I've worked hard for my skill set. I shouldn't throw that all away by diving into something new. If I change my career, I'll have to start at the bottom, and I'm not willing to have a pay cut. I don't even know what I would love to do. Sure, my passion is painting, but I can't make a living doing that. Wanting more out of my career is indulgent, don't you think? I know it's time for a change, but I need to figure out what direction I want or how to go about it. In the famous words of Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. If you don't look around every once in a while, you could miss it. So, let's dissect the fear for just a second. You've worked hard on your skill set. You shouldn't throw it all away to dive into something new. Hey, when you do it right, you won't throw anything away. No time is wasted because it got you to the point you're at now. And those skills you work so hard to achieve, we're going to package them up and ensure they are universally engaging and eye candy to any new employer. Skills transfer, and when you pivot, you actually become more of an asset thanks to your well-rounded experience, expertise, and diverse skill set. If you change careers, you'll have to start at the bottom, and you just aren't willing to have a cut in pay. Actually, by pursuing more exciting roles and marketing yourself effectively, you can make more money than you ever made doing something you didn't love. Next, I'm going to share the very first actionable step my clients take. It's an exercise I developed to take my own career from $44,000 a year to 6 figures without acquiring any additional degrees, certifications, or promotions. And it's opened up that same level of activity to my clients once they started using it too. This technique is completely rooted in building clarity around your passion. So, if you're looking to pivot in your career, you already know that you've outgrown what you're currently doing. But in order to launch into a role that will challenge you and light that fire inside, that will bring motivation and engagement and excitement to you in your career, you need some clarity on what excites you. What propels you to light up inside? What image or thought or idea makes you think, now that's something that would be worth my time? So, let's find out what that is. Take out a sheet of paper. Draw a line down the middle. On the left column, write passions. And on the right column, the idea is to create a list that spells out all of your passions, which are things that light you up inside, right? And bring you joy, while listing out your strengths on the other side. So these are hard and soft skill sets and natural talents of those aspects in your career that you have experience doing and are naturally gifted at. No censorship when you do this, please. Refrain from thinking analytically about what should fall under either side of these lists. The idea is to tap into your passions, especially those you have forgotten about. So list these without censoring yourself. They could seem silly, they can seem absurd. That's your brain and your ego talking. You want to be completely uncensored. If you get stuck, let's face it, we've all been trained to have careers and think about ourselves in which our environment has told us is acceptable. Go back to your childhood. What did you love to do at 6 years old, at 10, at 12 years old? Chances are what you loved then, you still find joy doing now, but perhaps you've abandoned it, and that's okay. It's time to get it back and consider those aspects as a possible career pivot. Now, you'll want to list your strengths in the same way. What are you good at? What comes naturally to you? List them out, even if some of them you don't find joy in anymore. Just come up with a brain dump. For example, do you think big picture or strategically? Do you find working with numbers easy, or are you obsessed with data? Are you a prolific writer or organizer or list maker? Are you awesome at making other people feel heard and understood? Now, look at your lists and create a mock-up job description that incorporates your passions and natural strengths. What would the role be if you were a hiring manager looking at that job description? Create 3 to 5 roles for this description. Make it up. Use your imagination. Do your passions and strengths sound like you'd make an incredible speechwriter, the next chief revenue officer for an enterprise SaaS company, or a business owner that provides social media marketing to women-owned businesses? You not only have permission to pivot in your career at any point, but you have permission to create a job description that fits your passions and strengths and skill sets and desires. So, take inventory of your skills. Once you know what skills future hiring managers are on the hunt for based on, say, a people search via LinkedIn, it's time to take a self-inventory of all those unique skills you inherently possess. You know, what I found is that we often become so focused on our day-to-day, only actually using a tiny percentage of our comprehensive skill set, that we need to remember how truly talented as a whole and in demand we are, even with those skills that we don't utilize on a daily basis. So make a list of every skill, talent, and strength you can think of. Don't be timid. Go all out with everything you can think of that you possess. Things like UX designer, or make people feel seen and heard, or awesome at reading analytics, or love sharing stories on Instagram, or hyper-focused. Agile learner, or a scrappy thinker who comes up with cheap solutions for hard problems. And by the way, if that's you, you're perfectly fit for any startup environment. Identify the skills and knowledge required for the new industry or role, and develop a plan to start acquiring them. This may involve taking courses. Maybe it's obtaining a certification or gaining relevant work experience, or finding some people who currently sit in the roles you're interested in on LinkedIn, for example, and requesting a connection. Need help with LinkedIn optimization or learning how to market yourself for a successful career pivot? You can find me at heather@redlanternsolutions.com.